look, I'm glad that you helped us out to understand what this case decided. I'm going to take a quick break, and if you can stay with us for a few more minutes, I do have a couple of more questions about the Cosby decision, the decision that happened today. You good with that, David?
That's just fine, thanks.
Okay, wonderful. So we'll be right back. I'm Pat Thurston. David Katz is on with me. He's a former prosecutor, federal prosecutor. The telephone number is 80-80-810. That's 415-808-0810. You're listening to KGO. Good afternoon. I'm Pat Thurston. David Katz is my guest. You can follow him on Twitter at, wait, I have it right here, at David Katz Law. I had a producer, John Daly, actually made me a little poster that I have right next to my desk so that I don't screw up your handle on Twitter, David. So it's at David Katz Law. Yeah, good job, John Daly.
Good job, John.
So listen, here's part of the story. In May, Bill Cosby was denied parole because he refused to participate in sex offender programs during his almost 3 years in state prison. Now, he has said that he would resist the treatment programs. He refused to acknowledge wrongdoing, and he said he was going to continue to do that, even if it meant serving the full 10-year sentence. His sentence, as I understand it, was 3 to 10. So if he had not had this conviction vacated, how much longer was he likely to serve anyway?
He probably would have served several years, because if you refuse to participate in prison programs, the parole board is not going to act favorably on you. He was convicted until today when his conviction was vacated. He'd been convicted of a sex offense, and if he didn't participate in sex offender rehabilitation efforts in jail, he was not going to get parole or early parole, which he didn't. But I think that he had a good feeling about this appeal. People had seen this issue coming for a while. It was obviously material. Like I said, there'd been a first trial where he was not convicted. There was a hung jury. And then instead of having just one other witness accusing him, there were 5 other witnesses accusing him, and they're all named in the opinion. The opinion, by the way, did have a dissent. It's 79 pages. That's why I haven't read every single page, Pat, as I usually try to read every page of every opinion I'm talking about with you. But 79 is a bit long.
Yeah, it's pretty long.
They go through all of it. But there was a dissenting opinion. But this will stand. And people may ask, is there any chance this will go to a higher court? But the only higher court it could go to would be the U.S. Supreme Court. And there's no way the U.S. Supreme Court is going to take this. It's so fact-specific for Cosby. It's not going to be taken. By the way, the Pennsylvania Supreme Court's been the court to be on. It also had the huge decision in the Trump challenge, remember, to the Pennsylvania vote?
Right.
So that's some court to be on, the Pennsylvania Supreme Court.
Yeah, big decisions. Well, see, so what occurs to me is if his sentence was 3 to 10 years, he served almost 3 years at the time. He did have to pay some time in the pokey, but of course, and you're going to hate this because you're a lawyer, but, you know, for those of us who aren't, we feel like this guy is such a creep. He's such a predator. And now, as a result of this conviction being vacated, his record is clean. You know, I know that these cases were older cases. I get that. But it seems as if you should be able to seek justice at any point in time. I mean, there's a statute of limitations. I also understand that. I understand that with time, memories decline. You know, stories are going to change. Evidence may disappear. I understand all those things. But it is disappointing to know what a predator this guy is, how huge his celebrity was and still is. And, you know, people are thinking that people who have been victims of predators like this have always been hesitant to come forward, and now they may be even more hesitant.
Do you own or rent your home? Sure you do, and I'll bet it can be hard work. You know what's easy? Bundling policies with Geico. Geico makes it easy to bundle your homeowner's or renter's insurance along with your auto policy. It's a good thing, too, because you already have so much to do around your home. Go to geico.com, get a quote, and see how much you could save. It's Geico easy. Visit geico.com today. That's geico.com.
Seeing what happened to Kaz.
Well, I think that people who have that concern should keep a few things in mind. All the civil judgments are still good. The people that he paid damages to. And of course, they always say this, that in all kinds of cases, in wrongful death cases, that the money can never make it right in some sense. But he did pay the civil awards, and those still stand. He spent over 2 years in prison from the time that he was over 80 until now when he's 83. That's pretty awful punishment that he endured. And while he's technically not guilty, it's been vacated. Certainly people are on notice. I don't think anyone's going to find themselves in the same peril of the women who really were unaware that anything was going to go on. They thought that they were there for an audition or some legitimate purpose. And there were questions all about that. That's part of the Me Too thing. But they shouldn't have been subjected to that. And I don't think anyone will be by Cosby in the future because people are onto him.
Yeah. Well, and also these things, like you said earlier, the things that caused this vacating of the conviction, these were very Cosby specific, very specific to this particular case. David Katz, thank you so much for being with us.